Your Majesty, the report you requested on the key strategic locations in the Westlands. The most important location is Tarwin's Gap, the only major pass in the Mountains of Doom and the easiest way for the Dark One's Trollocs to invade the Westlands from the Blight. The next two are the long, navigable Erinin and Manetherendrelle rivers, and by extension many of the cities along them. Whoever controls Ilion at the peninsular mouth of the Manetherendrelle controls that river and the Sea of Storms. Rival Tyr's location at the mouth of the Erinin is also critical. Tyr's defensive infrastructure possibly makes up for Ilion's slight advantage, and explains their ongoing stalemate on the plains of Maredo. Tar Valon holds a commanding location over the Erinin as the only large island in the middle of either major river system. This weakens the importance of Tyr at the Erinin's mouth, possibly explaining Tyron's unusual, convenient disgust for Aes Sedai. Of course, Arengill on the Erinin, between Tyr and Tar Valon, is Andor's most geographically critical city, and Cairhien naturally covets it for its own. Our own Whitebridge does provide a key crossing over the Arinelle, even if the port isn't especially noteworthy. Caemlyn and Cairhien are both just far enough from the disputed territory along the Erinin to be comfortable yet close enough to be striking distance. Otherwise, I genuinely have no idea why the Ogier decided to build a city here specifically. The rolling hills are fine indeed, but not so different from the rolling hills in other parts of Andor. The Jangai Pass in the spine of the world is one of two connections between the Westlands and the Io Waste, with Jangai being the much larger and more significant, both strategically and commercially. The other, Nyam Pass, is in Shinar to the north. Bandar Iban and Tanchico on the Aryth Ocean are fine ports, but neither is positioned to dominate the western coastline. Falme could do so, but would require a massive investment to improve and expand the substandard harbor. This possibly explains why neither Aradaman or Tarabon can gain lasting advantage over the other, and why they have a stalemate on the Almoth Plain. Lastly, Amador's location at the southernmost tip of the Mountains of Mist is a critical choke point for crossing west to east or east to west by land. Those bloody White Cloaks sure know how to pick a good capital city. A conflict with Ilion or Tyr would prove devastating to us most likely, as they each dominate the two major river systems that Andor relies on. A large-scale war, though, would necessitate choosing a side. Ilion is the preferable option for an ally, as they control the mouth of the river system that takes in both Caemlyn through the Kari River and Whitebridge. Furthermore, Cairhien would likely seek to ally with Tyr due to exclusive dependence on the Tyr-dominated Erinin, mutually accepted borders defined by the Haddenmerk swamplands, and a shared authoritarian political culture. The advantages of supporting Tarabon or Aradoman in a wider war will likely vary depending on the circumstances of the conflict. Our small shared direct border with Aradoman follows the rugged Mountains of Mist, making an Aradomani assault on Berlon impractical and unlikely. We of course share no border with Tarabon. Should Tarabon advance far enough into the Almoth Plain to touch our claimed lands, supporting Tarabon would be inherently advantageous, as they would then control a large portion of the disputed Almoth Plain. The Westlands geography presents an opportunity for your Majesty to solidify your authority westward toward Berlon and those stubborn Two Rivers rebels by exploiting unsettled yet promising terrain along the Arnell River north of Berlon. Building a settlement with a serviceable port in this gap between Maradon in the north and Whitebridge would give ships sailing the river a place to stop, rest, and resupply. With no nearby towns, it would face no competition. Just be sure to place it far enough north from Shadar Logoth. Only a desperate fool would stop for rest in that city. Your Majesty, this concludes our report. My ladies and lords of the Westlands, rulers from sundry lands, if you find the reports my clerks and I produce to be helpful as you labor in the service of your people, do honor us with your raised thumbs and subscriptions. Until our next report,